Oh, hello. Yeah, what do you want? You what? Scythe? You want a Scythe review? A bit late to the party, ain't you? It's ancient. You still here? You really want a Scythe review this late in? Oh, go on then.
Board Games 4K.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Popular demand. Not really. This is Scythe, a little bit of an overview of Scythe. We recently played this one, so if you want to check out our playthrough, you can put a link down below, upstairs, or somewhere in another room somewhere. But anyway, this was massively popular on Kickstarter a few years ago, wasn't it? I think it blew everyone away. I think, but what do we think about it? We've played it quite a few times. You know what I mean? We've got a couple of expansions. We haven't got the Rise of Fenris or the new encounter cards, but we got the God, what's it called? The airship thing. That, well, that's another day, another story. But and we've got the extra 2 factions in here as well. But what is this game? I mean, we can't figure out whether it's. I mean, it's got a bit of everything. It's almost like Jamie Stegmaier, like sort of looked at all the games that are around, like, and took bits and pieces and stuck them in a big cauldron, mixed them all up, and then this spewed out. I'm not saying that's bad or nothing, but yeah, this has got like area control. You control the factory in the centre. You've got worker placement, action selection. You've got a random element, haven't you, where you pick up the encounter cards. You've got like resource management. You've got even got that 7 Wonders thing where you're sort of playing off the 2 people to the left and right of you. So yeah, this is a bit of a mishmash, a bit of a hodgepodge. It can't figure out whether it's a Euro game or whether it wants to be, aspires to be an Ameritrash game with the miniatures and everything, you know. So yeah, we still haven't really figured out what niche, what genre this game fills. So maybe that's why we keep playing it. I don't know. So what do we like about this game? I mean, first of all, I mean, it's got to be said, isn't it? The production value and the artwork. I mean, it's just off the charts, isn't it? Just the style of the artwork is so original. Not really seen anything like it in board games before, really. You know, there's none of this sort of this Kayla stuff with a mad king staring at you. This is like creating a full-blown sort of ecosystem, sort of like there's a proper world out there, you know, that's living and breathing. And yeah, it's just amazing quality production. There's plastic, there's wood, the board looks fantastic. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, that's one of the first things that we obviously got to draw attention to, is the production quality and the artwork. Absolutely stellar. Yeah, obviously, I don't know if you see like our recent top 100 board games. Obviously, we had Cyclades at number 1, and this sort of borrows. One of the things we like about this is it borrows from that, in the sense that you've got this sort of slow burning build up, and then bang, something happens and it all kicks off, and then you've got to, if you're unfortunate enough to lose that, then you've got to rebuild, but you're not completely and utterly blown out of the game by what you're doing. So yeah, one of the things we really like is the difficult choices that occur at the beginning of the game, because your options are so muted. You're stuck in the corner of the board with literally nothing to play for, and you've got to get over that water. So your options are limited, but it gives you the opportunity to expand it in multiple different ways, and there's multiple strategies coming out from that one little area on the board. So we really like that part of the game. Yeah, one of the other things that has sort of kept this coming back to the table is the fact you've got like faction specific abilities. Like, everybody starts with the same type of action, but the way that the actions are loaded on your specific board are completely different to somebody else. So, you know, when you first start playing this, it's like, oh, if you look at this action, this is what you do, but they're looking at it going, well, that's not what I've got on my board. So the fact there's now 7 factions in this, and you mix and match your player board with the faction board, it's just a multitude of different options, different strategies. You can't play this game the same way more than once, because we always do like a random thing, apart from my wife who likes purple. But anyway, we always do a random selection of this, so you never really know what you're going to get, and you might be sitting in a different place on the board near to somebody who over time, if you play games regularly with the same people, you sort of get to sort of think, well, you get to know what the way that they play the game, whether they're going to be combative or whether they're going to be defensive or whatever. So this forces you into different strategies based on your starting actions and the things that you pick up. So yeah, that's, wow, awesome. Yeah, another thing that keeps this cover back to the table is that it keeps Jamie Stegmaier keeps developing this game. So you start off with the vanilla game, then he expanded the amount of players and the amount of options that you got there. Then he added the airship modules and that, and then different ways that you can finish the game in that module. And now you've got the campaign in the Rise of Fenris. So even though this game keeps on being expanded and keeps growing, none of the expansions are essential, which is sort of refreshing. It doesn't really matter whether you play with the expansions or not. You've still got the same quality of game there. It's not like you can sort of say, well, you know, we used to like this game, but now the expansion's out, we won't ever play without it. You can play Scythe without the expansion. You can mix and match, lob stuff in, and you will still get a solid quality game no matter what. And that's really, really refreshing in the board game industry at the moment. You know, you don't have to get the expansions. You're still going to get a sorted game for your money. So, what didn't we like about Scythe? There's plenty to talk about here, but I'm not saying we don't like the game, but the fact that there is a limited player interaction apart from the Seven Wonders thing where you got the two things. It's not, you're stuck in the corner and you're dying to sort of branch out. You want to do as much as you can to get out. You can't do everything you want to do, and you're building up your stuff, and then you suddenly make a move and no one wants to have a scrap. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Cyclades where you get stuck in, you might lose a couple of men and then you retreat, you build up, you come back in. Maybe that's how we play anyway. But with this one, there's not that many fights. I mean, some people might say that's a good thing, but it just seems a bit bizarre that you've got all these mechs and they're basically their primary use, really, for a lot of our games that we played. They're used as a transport system. That's it. You know, you want to tool these mechs up with all these big weapons, and you want to get stuck in and have a right old punch up for the factory, don't you? But 9 times out of 10 that don't happen. So yeah, that's one of the negatives, is that the upgrades and when you expand your engine, you're not really sort of utilising it in a way that the game tempts you into doing. So yeah, another negative, and it's probably been widely talked about, this one, is the fact that the game ends directly after someone gets their 6th star on the achievement track. So that means that not everybody gets the same amount of turns. So why? I don't really understand that. So we house rule this, and we always make sure that someone's got like a first player marker or something to get that to beat that score. So I mean, okay, the wind, these airship thing, I can't remember the name of it now, but that fixes it because you've got different endings that you can have. I think it's a 20 round limit. But yeah, when we first played it, we're like, well, hang on a minute, you've had one more turn than me. How's that fair? But it is what it is. But we just house rule it, and we just say we play till the end of that round. But yeah, I mean, this isn't one of my criticisms. I quite like this because obviously Cyclades was my number one. But a few people I played this with, they get frustrated where they don't feel like their engine is building as quickly as they would like it to build. You know, they like going for those encounter cards because it gives them a really nice, quick and free bonus, but they struggle to. It's like you're sort of wading through water, trying desperately. In a sense, that's sort of like poetic justice in a way, because you've got to get the water walking ability to get out of that little bit of land. You've got that peninsula, but a lot of people I've played this with, they get frustrated at the pace of the game at the beginning, and they're tentative in having a fight because they don't want to, where it's taken so long to build up, they don't want to lose any of that engine that they've built up. So yeah, it's sort of, you know, once again, like we said, it tempts you into thinking there's going to be a punch up and there's going to be sort of exciting things, but really it's like a plodding, it's very slow burning game, and there's no real there's no real climax to it. It's just, you know, somebody, you see them getting up to one of the tracks, or they take control of a factory and load it with mechs, and you're like, it's not worth the risk. I might as well turn my attention on somewhere else. Anyway, yeah, so that's another semi-negative, not personally, but things that I've heard bandied around. So overall, what do we think of Scythe? Well, it's in my personal opinion, it's an absolute classic game. I mean, I think it changed the way, not the way people play games, or it wasn't a game changer in that sense, but it changed the way it changed people's expectations of what a board game could and should be. Like it just raised the bar on production levels, and it raised the bar on what's possible. And I don't think any other company could have produced anything of this quality. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd have to play it hundreds and hundreds of times to close the game down and say that's it, we're done with this, because there's so much content now for this universe. But it would just, I mean, they're talking about a modular board now. I mean, I thought like the Rise of Fenris was meant to be the last expansion for this one, but he's talking about chucking out a modular board like Clans of Caledonia down here, and I mean that just like changed the game up even more. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. You know what I mean? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Scythe. I mean, the fact that this game is still growing and it sort of changes its personality over time. You know, it's a bit like sort of, I suppose, the popularity of people like David Bowie. They can read the market and they adapt their persona, and like Scythe sort of morphs itself dependent on what's the zeitgeist at the time, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, without getting too deep, yeah, recommended game. Late to the party with this one, but who cares? I mean, it should be in everyone's collection, no doubt about it. Absolutely brilliant.